Hello, everybody, and welcome into episode 7 of the Cradle of Ruin. Click the button, do the thing. Hello, hi, happy Sunday. Hope everyone's having a pleasant, or had a pleasant weekend. I'm roasting in the little stone oven that I'm in again, so send me water, lots of water. Let's bring people in. Hello, how are we?
Good.
It's a warm one, boys and girls. Once again.
Yeah.
Dear. But with that aside, and me probably melting into a puddle on my chair, how are you players today?
Good. You missed Thea's rendition of the opening song.
Did I? Oh, go on.
I don't think
I'm
that's
sure.
how it goes.
I'm sure there's at least another 3 minutes. So if you wish to carry on, please do.
Wow, 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 wow.
Oh dear. Yeah, welcome in episode 7. Not really much to say from my end, apart from Yorick. What happened last week on the Cradle of Ruin?
Nothing. It was wholly uneventful, and we got nothing done.
All right, fair. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So we continued on our way, making our way across the
Downtown.
making our way downtown,
Make it away.
walking fast.
Sorry.
Fucking dick. With our new pet in tow, Yon Bonds. As our pack mule, he's acclimatized to this region, so it wasn't too bad getting him here, there, and everywhere. But we had to be mindful of how we got him places because he's big, and had to squeeze him in certain places. But yeah, traveling didn't do too badly. I don't think we got it to our destination almost without issue. The one issue we did find was she was just a solo little girl. Just walking along the street. On a toddy lonesome. In a barren wasteland that kills everything. Without a care in the world. So of course, she's fucking evil. She's gotta be. Horrible creature that she is, with her fucking open wounds and a fucking second shadow that burns shit. So we had a bit of a prickly moment with her. So much so that somebody. Oh,
Who?
did I address you? Oh, you knew what was coming. Did you? Why? What did you do?
Nothing. Katrina did nothing wrong.
I'm sure. That ball bearing to the back of her head will be forgotten. But yes, we kind of had a oh fuck, what the fuck is this sort of thing? But we managed to get away.
She was quite sociable.
No, she wasn't. You go fuck yourself. You knew what you did.
Well.
So yeah, we managed to get past her, and then finally to Lantern Deep, where we waited for night, held up our torch, and got led inside to a much more agreeable meeting. I'd say they were quite pleased to see us. They give us food and drink. and somewhere to rest, and they said that we talk in the morning. One thing that they did do, though, was tell us that they had a meeting with the spawn of Satan, and she was lovely and gave them presents and jewels and shinies that are all cursed and horrible because Grom tried to fucking drop one through the bones, and the bones were like,
Nah.
no. Absolutely fucking not. So that might come up today.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Who knows? What I have got, though, and I did spend a little bit of time that I'll just throw up. I got a new little token for our Emberhorn companion. Look at him.
Look at him!
He's absolute Chad.
I'll ride him into battle.
Quite the
He's got like a rhino horn and fucking elk ears.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Love it.
That's kind of how I imagine them, just these big oxen body, giant black horns. But again, like most things in this world, it's not bull horns, more just weird, wonderful creations. So yeah, that's Bonds. The Emberhorn.
Moose horns.
Yeah,
Moose horn.
Yeah, mooses, horns, rhino horn, and various other bits of fur, and it's weird. It's weird and wonderful. That's what we want. Something different.
I like
Are
it.
horns fuzzy?
What's that? Sorry? Are the horns fuzzy?
Are the horns fuzzy? I would touch.
No, they're made of stone.
Oh, never mind.
Are they? You tell me.
No, I don't think they're
No.
fuzzy.
No. All right.
I wish they...
But yeah, in a nutshell, that's exactly what happened. You bumped into Javera, a woman who was trying to maybe coerce you, or at least offer you sanctuary in the Temple of the Sun Temple, which... Did anyone find out where it was or know where it was? I can't remember the rolls last week.
I think Eggle knew where it was, right?
Eggle has an idea of a direction.
Good enough.
Good enough. Absolutely. Yeah, apart from a clump on the heads by a pebble from a slingshot, which seemed to do very little, didn't even antagonize her. She left, and you eventually made your way to Lantern Deep, where you met one of the members of the Elder Council, a rather surly dwarf by the name of Jurek. And from there, you were set in one of the carved out rooms that they use as abodes, and pretty much that's where we left off, if I remember rightly.
It is, yeah.
Okay. So, as a quick refresher on Lantern Deep, this is a subterranean haven nestled into old mines and caverns deep in the Ashen Wastes. The settlement above, mostly made out of wooden shacks and various other odds and ends, but there are two old stone buildings that are still standing, used not too often, as Lantern Deep rarely tends to work in the day, and things are certainly not made during the night, but like most havens, everything has some either ceremonial or historical attributes to them. As for Lantern Deep itself, it houses roughly 200 or so individuals, similar in size to Hollow Rest, but the individuals here mostly of dwarven descent. Yes, there are some tall dwarves, short dwarves, half dwarves, you name it, it's all here. But they are known throughout at least this area of Lorenthar as one of the premier places to get metal weapons. And as you've made your way into Lantern Deep, you're on the upper level of the haven. This is mostly where the families reside. Again, with the homes carved out of the rock faces themselves. Some covered with brick walls, others have got furs or leather used as curtains for privacy. Everyone speaks in a hushed tone because in the mines, voices travel. The slightest raised voice could no doubt be heard 2-3 levels down. Once Jurek had shown you to your place of rest, Yorick, you would know that typically for people who come in the night, they are offered food, water, a place to rest, and then business is then conducted after the other party is recuperated.
Okay, so we'll just take everybody to our abode and just bunk down for the night. If anybody wants to talk, Yorick, I'll gesture to use sign language.
This small abode you've been given is fairly open. Unlike some of the others that have got wood or stone walls around it to offer shelter, this one's just got a stitched together leather curtain. But in the middle there is a small bundle of firewood to light a fire, along with a almost metal cage that can be hooked onto a chain that extends from the ceiling above to roast things over the fire, along with an iron pot, a few utensils, nothing worth, well, I mean, I say nothing worth stealing, but in this world, a metal two-pronged poker could be quite the weapon in some people's hands. Well, with Jurek departing, offering a respectful nod to the group, and then a last look at you, Yorick, considering you've met this old dwarf once before, maybe twice in the past. He pulls this curtain closed, leaving you all to silence, to talk, to rest if needed, or to prepare for the day to come.
So before we go to sleep, Yorick wants to chat in sign language with everybody, so he'll just sign, I think we've got a problem here.
Thea's
Katrina
just gonna
was
roll her eyes. Sorry.
Katrina ignores the eye roll and signs back, really big problem. They are what's the right word? They are
Proud. I'll sign the word proud.
no brainwashed. She doesn't know the sign for brainwash, so she kind of just spells it out. Brainwashed.
I'll just sign back. You think? I think it's just greed.
I don't know. And she looks over at Grom and makes a question hand gesture.
Rom sits down the bit of bone carving that he's working on. And gestures back. Those necklaces, there's something wrong with them. I've not seen the bones react like that before.
I was just saying, what does it mean?
there could be some form of compulsion attached to them, or whatever it is. Nothing good can come of it.
I mean, you've had a little bit of time to sit now, Grom. If you wish to... I know you rolled a Forbidden Law check last week and got a really good one, but if you wish to roll me a fresh one for perhaps a little bit of an insight, and the rest of you, as you sit down, you would be able to start gauging a little bit more of your surroundings, the people passing by. Because bear in mind, unlike Hollow Rest, where at night time it's lights out, everyone settles down, here in Lantern Deep, there's no daylight. There's always people moving. There's always people talking quietly. There's always some work going on here. Even as you settle down, you would still hear a soft tinkle, a soft hammering of metal from the forges that are 3-4 levels below you.
So insight, did you say?
Whichever you think. If you have something you want to know, roll me an appropriate thing. So it could be perception if you want to look around. It could be insight just to judge the general feeling of the place.
I think I'll go in perception, and like I've been here before. I know how people generally act. I want to see if they're acting strange at all.
Okay. First, Grom. With the bones being eerily quiet, you can't seem to glean anything further, but what Katrina said, or signed at least, seems to hold some sway. Either if it's not a straight up mind control or compulsion, there is still something insidious at play here. As for you, Yorick, absolutely, the people here seem different. Whereas before, people would be constantly moving ore or goods around. Now, some of the people just seem to be wandering aimlessly. They would have small objects in their hands that, at a glance, just seem mundane. It could be a small metal cup or a bowl, a small trinket. Even some would have just pieces of rock. But all of them seem to be somewhat fascinated by them. You'd see a porter moving, pushing a wagon of ore down the corridor far away from you, and he would stop, take out a small object from his pocket, look at it, smile, put it back into his pocket, and continue.
So a lot of them are just mundane, ordinary, everyday objects, yeah?
Yeah. But they look at it like what Jurek, the glint in his eye that he had when he was talking about the gems and the necklaces that were offered to him and the council.
Okay. I'll just relay my observations of it, like it's very quiet. Everybody seems really subdued. They're all looking at these things, whatever they are. They're all different, whatever they are.
Fia's gonna sigh. Do you just want me to walk up and forcefully take something from one of them to see what happens?
I'll say not yet. I want to see what the elders are like when we see them.
And as these necklaces were given as a gift, I'm going to add a gift to them myself. And I hold up a carved piece of bone, like a little made to look like a little pendant with a rune on it.
Nice.
This isn't the normal tat bone that we sell to travelers. This is part of the guardian bones.
That's a sign of true peace.
See if some of our protection can be shared.
I hope so.
So as we're speaking, I'm going to carry on carving these pendants for the elders.
Absolutely.
Thea's gonna ask the group, do you sign it? Do you think that we need to be careful touching things?
Roll me an insight check for whoever thinks they can gauge the situation.
15?
15? All right, Yorick. Go on, Katrina.
No, I was just gonna roll as well. Go ahead.
You can if you wish.
Okay.
Fucking good rolls. As soon as Thea asked this question, both Katrina and Yorick, you get the impression that it's not so much the touching or picking up of items, but it seems like they are treasuring it like a gift, like something handed to them, like a prized possession. So, picking something up, random odds and ends, from what you've seen out and about and from the tales you've perhaps read back at Hollow Rest, things that shouldn't be picked up are pretty obvious typically. But looking off at Grom, who's got this first carved pendant, the gifting of an item is much more powerful.
So I'll just be like, don't take any gifts, no matter how shiny.
She signs back, not a problem. I don't want to owe anybody anything anyways.
Well, Katrina will sign. If it's a gift, you don't owe them.
She starts like furiously signing back of saying like there's always an underlying want or somebody needs something from you. If they're gifting you something, they want something from you. Can you be that naive?
It's not naivete. It's like I expect better people in the world.
She's just, I don't think so. Go into the world cautious. You can be optimistic, but optimistically cautious, but I'm not.
And then Katrina will just sign to the whole group, welcome to nights at our house.
York will just sign back. Sounds like family.
Katrina will just smile back.
I'll be like, get some rest. Well, they won't come to us until they're rested.
For those who wish a short rest, by all means, keep down. The bed's hard, mostly just a ledge of rock that's been chiseled out, a few old grotty throws and furs act as a mattress. They're not filthy by any means, but with the dust and dirt, the soot from the burning of lanterns and campfires down in the caves, it's... if you didn't have an ashen complex before going to sleep, you certainly will when you wake up. Grom, you easily managed to finish the 5 pendants before taking a rest, because if I remember rightly, you don't sleep.
I don't. I slip into my daily trance and get my rest that way.
Roll me a perception check, please, Grom.
But you don't.
Several hours pass. The rest of the party are fast asleep. And you, Grom, have just finished the final finishing touches on the last pendant, and just as you're putting the scrimshoring kit down or packing it up, in fact, what exactly is in your little scrimshaw kit?
Got a couple of very small, delicate files and a tool made from a pseudo dragon fang. There's things I carry around with me all the time. Back at Hollow Rest, I've got a full kit with many different tools, but I've just got like files and picks, things for refining rather than cutting.
It's the bare necessities. But
yeah.
So with you packing up these small, some would say delicate, but they're not. They are the materials used, the bones of the great guardian, a fang from Rune, and they're certainly not fragile in the slightest, but you begin to overhear just the whispered voices of passers-by, and most of it doesn't really seem to garner much interest, apart from the odd occasional mention of a treasury, a boon granted by the human explorer, the chronicler, as she called herself, and a name, Javira. You get the gist that this Javira, who is known as a chronicler, as an explorer, found perhaps some treasure trove deep in the mountain, or deep in the mines. Putting 2 and 2 together, perhaps some of these gifts that were handed out maybe weren't from her initially, but from this trove that she either... You can't exactly tell the details entirely, but either she helped discover it or she knew where it was, or through hook or crook, somehow she was involved in a discovery of an old treasury, an old hoard somewhere in the mines.
Very convenient, like.
Very convenient. Awfully convenient, one would say.
Mm-hmm.
With that, conversation, well, not so much single conversation, but just through the odd myriad of conversations that are whispered between passers-by, the atmosphere is quite jovial, quite hopeful, jolly even. Everyone is in high spirits, and eventually you, with tools down, drift off into your trance-like state as your rest begins. Who's the first to awaken?
No one? Okay.
Oh, probably me, as I'm not actually asleep.
Go for it. Either you can wake up yourself, or I can. You would start.
Oh, no,
Yeah. Go on.
Grom starts waking up, and he moves his head all the way to the side until his neck clicks. And then he does it the other side. And it does it again. And these are booming clicks from the massive orc head.
Like iron gird has been snapped.
Yeah. Like crackers being pulled.
Probably enough to wake most people, but do continue.
Yeah. And he gets up, starts shuffling around the room, looking to make some tea. Start day, so he gets the metal poker and jimmies the fire up. Puts some more fuel on it. And he's not being quiet, because he's up, so everyone should be up.
that metal pot I mentioned earlier, clang, clang.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah.
Banging his staff on the floor to help him walk,
So you are all promptly woken up by the sound of an iron pot being clanged, a staff hitting the ground, multiple cracks, and then just a cloud of smoke as the fire is brought back into life.
With the enthusiastic help of a little pseudo dragon.
All right, let me get it, old man. We're awake.
He's on, and I have news.
News?
While I was working last night, voices from the other side of the walls were bleeding through. And there's been a lot of talk about the treasury, a hoard of things found in the mountain by an acquaintance of ours.
Wait, so she just comes here and happens to find a hoard of treasure
Indeed.
in the dwarves' backyard, who have been mining these mines for generations.
Yes, came in under the guise of some explorer that had some secret knowledge, apparently.
Secret knowledge, indeed.
And Grom lights his pipe. And uses it to point and show as he's speaking, because he's quite animated. So yes, she turned up, had this bolt of inspiration of where this treasure might be, led them straight there, and now there's a hoard of this stuff. And if I don't know if if it's fact or not, but to my mind, I wouldn't be surprised if that's not where these necklaces come from.
Can you see, like, are they coming from any particular place that may indicate where this is at? Like, are
I
they going
overheard
back
it through a
grabbing-
wall.
We'll ask.
It's the quickest way to find the answer we seek.
Tear the hole through the wall? So you're right.
What?
It's that not what we were talking about? Putting a hole in the wall?
They were talking about asking someone.
Yeah.
It's
I thought
it's
he heard it through a wall.
yeah, because it's nighttime and people were talking at night, but now it's daytime and we can just go ask them.
I just assumed, you know, I know things carry through here, and maybe he heard it, like, and they were on the other side of the wall, and that we were gonna have to tear the wall down to get to that other side. But asking someone is simpler.
Infinitely so.
But I'm not opposed to putting a hole in the wall.
Noted. If we need to put a hole in the wall, you'll be first on the list.
No, I'm the best way to make a hole in the wall. I know what we do. And Katrina's got like this devilish look on her face. If we need to make a hole in a rock wall, we're in a place surrounded by dwarves. We could just ask one of them to make a hole through the wall so we could overhear them better, right?
I'll just look at the sisters and I'll just shake my head.
They would have the tools. That would be...
I was joking, Thea.
Didn't get that tone. Who are we gonna ask? Who's gonna ask? Do you want me to ask? I will find somebody and I will
We'll
ask.
talk to the Elder Council. We'll ask them.
So you want me to talk to the Elder Council? All right. Where are they?
Wait, and you'll find out.
Also, I don't think we want you to talk to anybody.
Did I ask you if I could talk to someone?
Shit.
Katrina just assumes this stance where it's like she's got all of her weight resting on one foot and hip and the other one out and her arms crossed, and she just stares at Thea.
Thea will smirk. Because she knows she got under her sister's skin.
Yep, definitely family.
At that moment, you hear a voice call out from behind the leather curtain that separates the chamber from the main corridor. Morning. It seems you're all up bright and early. Sibber, here. Met yesterday.
A pleasure.
As you step out, you are greeted by a woman, dwarven, pale, somewhat pale, but still the typical ashen skin tone that all dwarves have here. Long ginger hair that's braided into a long ponytail that drops just below the ribs. the armor she's wearing is well kept, recently oiled. It seems to shine in the lantern and campfire lights of the corridor as she bows her head and then extends a hand towards you, Yorick, and greet him.
I'll shake a hand. So you're the old man's young one, are you?
Aye, that I am. That I am. It's said that we had folks from Hollow Rest visiting, so sent me on an errand to greet you all and show you the ropes, but judging by you, been here before, eh?
Pulls out his sword and goes, once or twice.
Sibba extends both hands to take the weapon.
He'll hand it to her.
She takes it, looks over it for a moment, looks down the blade, looks up at you, Yorick, with a raised brow, looks back down at the blade, grips it at the hilt, hefts it up, and you would hear an almighty tut just ring out from your... She looks utterly disgusted at the state this thing's been brought to her.
Sweet till I make her see it.
You, haven't either been back in a while to have this sharpened, or you've certainly got some use out of it.
Yes and yes.
She rolls her eyes, grabs the blunt of the blade and offers it back towards you, Yorick.
I'll take it and just sling it back in the hooks on the back of my like it's like a rig as opposed to a like an actual top.
Well, I wasn't aware that we were dealing in iron clubs these days, but well, if it gets the job done. And the rest of you? She then turns to the rest of the party and bows her head, offering a hand to each in turn. I assume all of you wish to speak with the council, yes? Or are you, and she points back to you, Yorick, heading down to the smithing levels?
The council, and I'm going to kick the first person forward that's closest to me so they can go fucking greet her properly and shake her hand.
Thea.
Yeah, Thea gets kicked.
Well, Thea. Puts a hand out. Doesn't say a word.
Introduce yourself, Thea.
As that voice rings out, you see several heads poke out from the walls. And from
Sorry.
the other
Sorry.
Be too loud.
Thea, I dare say a pleasure, but you don't look like you wish to be here, so I'll not take up too much of your time.
Appreciate it. She steps back and she pushes Eggle forward.
Well, rare to see one of your folk here, but in the company of Hollow Rest, I dare say you've more than made your point. She extends the hand towards you, Eggle.
Eggle will take her hand and shake it kind of awkwardly because not all people shake hands with them. Yes, well, very kind of you. There's I keep these ones from falling apart when they're out on the road and they've had run-ins with things with teeth sharper than theirs.
A medicine man, yes? By the sounds of it?
Somewhere between that and a quilter.
she's still got hold of your hand, Eggle, at the moment. As she just looks at you, leans in a little closer. For a medicine man such as yourself, would you be able to perhaps pick up on the first signs of illness? And then
It depends.
She jostles her head back slightly, as if motioning to the corridor and Lantern Deep at large.
You think that something's spreading?
She looks up and down the corridor. No. Nothing spreading, but just, she leans back in again quietly. If there was something that would pique either your interest or concern, keep an eye out for me, eh?
Sure, I could do that.
She nods.
At that, Eggle starts like eyeballing anybody he sees pass by, just like now he's a little bit on high alert, thinking that there's some type of disease that they've stumbled into and she doesn't want to say it outright.
She then turns to probably the next biggest thing that takes her attention away from the small goblin, which would be Grom. And again, easily Grom, your presence is recognizable. You wear what you are openly, so she respectfully bows her head and greets him.
I greet her and put my hand out, as that seems to be the custom here.
She takes it, and rare would be the day that I thought one of the shamans of Hollow Rest would step forth into the mines.
We generally call ourselves bone singers, but shaman would be more a common term, but you have the right idea.
Bone Singer, my apologies. But welcome to our humble mountain abode. She nods again, then turns towards Katrina. Gives Katrina a glance over.
Hi, I'm Katrina.
You carry yourself like some of the lads from the forges do down below. Hands seem well used.
Oh, well, I'm Varn's second. Do you remember Varn? He's from here.
Her eyes go, wait, you know Vaughn?
Oh, yeah. He's in charge of the crafters back home, and I kind of am like in just head of stores right now, but I'm really good at him. And also I'm the apprentice tattoo artist and midwife for the Hollow.
Oh, so he's not dead then?
Oh no, he's very much alive. He's nursing a sore finger at the moment, but he's alive.
He'll be dead soon.
She turns towards you, Thea, and just grins. Oh, good. Well, when you see Varn next, could you say that his old betrothed is still live and kicking, and she is still pissed at him, and she is still waiting for that rapscallion to drag his arse back to the mines so I can kick it out a second time.
Yorkel spit the tea out that he was drinking.
Several more heads start poking out from the corridor, and she just turns back. She goes, "What? Fuck off!" And they just scoot back into the caverns. But this fuck off just echoes up and down Lantern Deep.
Thea just has this big smile come across her face because she wants to know more and how she can use this against Varn.
Rom's not got a big smile on his face, but he's got that old man twinkly eye that, you know, he would be laughing in that if he wasn't held in such self-control.
Katrina has pulled out a piece of parchment and has written that down word for word.
Old Trout, is he running? What can you tell me more?
I'll tell you more, but perhaps later when we sit down and I'll bring over some meat and a few vegetables that we've had. Well, I say vegetables, a few things that we've had growing in the caves. There may also be a stash of alcohol that I can swindle from the council chambers for you as well.
We appreciate it.
Yes, and again, a pleasure to meet you.
Hi, likewise. Well, if you'll follow me, I'll take you to the chambers. Did the old man inform you of the rest of the council last night that they probably won't be able to make it to the meeting?
Why?
You know what? Probably best until we get in the chambers, eh? And with that, she motions a hand to follow. Another head pokes its way out of a leather curtain, inches away from Sibber, and she just puts her meaty palm on the face and then just pushes it back inside before continuing down the chamber. Here she leads you through a small labyrinth of old mine shafts. You see rotten pieces of wood embedded into the ground, along with certain parts of the floor has rusted iron tracks. Again, showing to a level of technology that doesn't exist anymore, frustratingly. Sibber mentions along the way that, if we had these tracks still in working order and whatever used to pull the ore out, then this place, well, I can see at least glimmers of that. We used some of the tracks just with some carts, but some of the stories passed down from aeons ago is that they had giant beasts of metal that spewed fire and steam high into the sky that they would move vast quantities of ore with. Can you imagine that?
Not really.
Nope. Sorry.
A thing like that would be terrifying to behold.
Aye, that it would. Small talk continues for another 15-20 minutes as Sibber makes her way further down into the second, then third, and fourth level of Lantern Deep. Hear the sounds of iron being hammered, of furnaces roaring, grows louder and louder. And of course, the deeper you go with these noises, the louder voices are. But deeper underground, you're much further away from the entrance. So a lot of the initial quiet caution is thrown to the wind, especially when you're trying to shout over dwarves hammering steel. Well, not so much steel, but iron. The individuals here, whilst hard at work, you would still notice occasionally that all of them seem to occasionally stop work, pull out a small trinket or some such, glance over it before pocketing it and getting back to work.
That's not a behaviour that we've seen Sibber
No.
use at all yet.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Roll me an insight check. First come, first served.
Who's got good insight?
I got a +3.
Send it. Nice.
Oh, you would notice that Sibba does tend to glance at some of the individuals as they make a note of taking out their small little trinkets, gems, shiny rocks. And you get the impression, Katrina, that there's a sense of either distrust or disgust with what's happening. It doesn't show it very often, but there would be one moment where she just notices someone take out a small trinket and she just shakes her head before pushing open a large set of double doors that leads into another long corridor, but this one a little more grandiose than the others. There are carvings along the walls that seem to be hundreds of years old. Oxides used as paint. The copper, when it rusts, goes orange, so there's a lot of... sorry, not orange, it goes turquoise in colour, so there's a lot of almost copper-stained, turquoise-looking cave paintings along this long chamber, and that leads to another set of doors where this... Yorick, if you've been here before, maybe you've not been in the council chambers, but you know that this would no doubt be the council chambers. And with her hands firmly on the door's swinging open, we'll call a quick pee break and refill the clock, because my beer bottle is empty.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm also going to take a quick moment to say, Lucius, thank you for the 67-month resub. I appreciate it. And Vexing Cat, thank you for the bitties and the flower that was offered in chat. I appreciate it. Barksy, hello there. Ravon, Durs, getting first. Pocket Yeti, hello. Jonathan Gore, welcome back. Mad Architects, hello. Hello. Welcome in, everyone. And then, of course, straight off the bat, we had Sneezer and Diesel. So, hello. I think that, for the moment, covers everyone. Right, I'm going to go and grab a fresh bottle, so I will be but a moment. I am back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Back.
Ah.
Back.
Hello. Oh. Cheers, Barksy. Can't beat a cold drink on a hot day. Is that everyone returned?
Yeah, I'm back now. I too got a beverage.
A beverage of the tasty variety.
Hmm.
All right. So, with the doors now swinging wide open, revealing a large chamber. At the far end of this chamber, there is a raised dais. 5 large wooden seats sit in a somewhat semicircle position at the end. An ideal position for 5 people to sit and hurl insults and discuss matters with each other. But out of these 5 seats, only one is occupied. That being the familiar figure who you saw the previous night. Durik. To be precise, Durik Embervein, one of the lead council members of Lantern Deep. Sibba raises a hand in greeting to the old man before waving the rest of the party in. This chamber's roughly 30 feet long, about the same wide. It domes out at the top, and instead of having brick walls, again, like most of the parts of Lantern Deep, it's been carved out of the rock, but certain pillars have been left and chiseled in to make it look fancy. There are iron lanterns spread down the walls, each one, again, the main reason why Lantern Deep's called Lantern Deep. The lanterns that are made here are known throughout many havens. In fact, some of the lanterns that are no doubt in the odd home in Hollow Rest were no doubt made here. But Jurek offers a nod in greeting, seizing you all.
Aye, I hope ye all lot rest well. Come, step up, let's have a discussion, shall we?
Very well. Where's the rest of the council?
Oh, those, you don't have to mind them. They're, well, indisposed at the minute. Okay, here, follow me.
He hefts his way off of his chair, adjusts the necklace around his neck before motioning to a small, semi-concealed door off to the side of the room. This door it's basically a large piece of rock that's had hinges attached to it. So when it's closed, it looks part of the chamber, but just with a gentle push, a gentle application of force, allows it to swing open, which reveals a smaller room with a long table in the center and roughly 12 chairs, a small discussion area. Jurek steps in. Sibba reluctantly also steps in as she just casts a glance over each of you before following into her father's footsteps.
Would you say, like, this room, because it's kind of chiseled in like this, that sound doesn't carry out of it?
Absolutely correct.
Okay.
Absolutely correct.
Egg will follow him. And he's looking over Durek because Sibba had been talking about the disease, so he's looking for signs of infection or something.
Roll me a medicine check. Glancing at him, he just seems old, happy, chipper. Similar to how you saw him the previous night. similar to how the vast majority of the people here in Lantern Deep are acting. A malady, a disease, an infection of some sort doesn't seem to be apparent.
Well, you said like he was kind of like positioning that necklace. Is he constantly like touching it or positioning it?
Since you're actively looking for it, roll me a perception check. Let's go. It's going to make it easier. DC 8.
I'd also add, is he treating it with the same reverence as other people we passed did?
With that wisdom check, the answer to the question for you, Thea, is yes. He would always seem to either have a hand on it or close to it or messing with it. And Thea, Katrina, again, without even needing a roll since you're already on the right path, absolutely. It certainly seems to be along the same vein as now what you've noticed in other people of Lantern Deep. With Jurek sitting down, he motions towards Sibba to grab a small keg from the corner. She does so. Pulls cork from the top, and with a few iron cups scattered on the table, she begins filling them up and puts them in front of you all.
Katrina will pipe up.
Go
ahead.
I was just about to say, but she doesn't offer you a drink. She just puts the cup in front of you, fills it up, puts the cup down, and then just leaves it there.
Katrina is going to ignore the cup for a moment, but kind of try and meet her eye and say, how long has the council been indisposed?
Sibba casts her eye over to Jurek and then back to you. Not too long, a day or two. It seems that they were
unable to make today's meeting. Aye, they were partied a little too hard last night, and let's just say that the others are currently indisposed. But someone needs to make sure this place is run properly now, don't they? So.
And that somebody's you?
I am the only one of the old codgers still sprightly enough to get out of my fart sack.
Did your visitor meet with the full council when she was here?
Visitor? Oh, you're talking about the intrepid explorer. Aye, we had a long and fruitful conversation after what she brought to the settlement.
Yeah, did she give everyone on the council a necklace like yours?
Aye, you got a good eye on you, lass. You got a good eye on you.
And he starts waggling a finger in your direction, Katrina.
Hey, she did. Not jealous, I hope, because you can't have it. It's mine. It's all mine.
No, not jealous. Just noting some peculiar coincidences, and that's all.
Aye. Well, that along with a few other things that was brought down from, or brought up, should I say, from... you don't need to know. Anyway.
He leans back in the chair.
Go on.
Does anyone drink from the cups?
No, absolutely fucking not.
No.
Eggle?
Well, Eggle is a little bit interested in like what's going on, and like, so he's not really thinking too much about it.
Mm-hmm.
So he hasn't, but he's more interested in hearing about this up from where that Yorick's picked up on.
Oh, no, you don't need to know about all that. It's just unexpected windfall, one could say, eh?
Yes, incredibly unexpected, Father. And with that, Sibba sits down, pours a cup, puts it in front of Jurek. And a drink?
Hey, don't mind if I do, lass. Thank you.
Takes a big swill.
Oh, that's the good stuff. Hey, so, Hollow last eh? You here for, what, iron? Or something about, you said, a shadow last night, huh?
Yeah. Starting to connect the dots now.
Yeah, I kind of have a feeling about what caused that shadow. How about you, Yorick?
Yeah. Prophecy it was given to us. A growing shadow in the south, spreading.
I don't need... tell me more about the shadow, because the last thing that I need is some prophecy spreading amongst the people here and causing panic. No. At the minute, all of us here in Lantern Deep, each and every one, we're happy. Don't need no
Happy?
thing bringing us down, no. Do we? Do we, Sibba?
No, Father, we don't. And she kind of just gives him that brushing off type of comment as she casts a glance towards you, Yorick, and then Katrina.
You're happy now, are you?
Aye. Aye, the days are all brighter, everything is just... I finally think we're in a position where we can start looking further afield, no longer feeling beyond the wastes. Just a little bit more iron, a little bit more work, and with that, I think we can start moving out of here, expanding into the wastes.
Yeah? Out in the sunshine, would you say?
He clicks his fingers towards you, Yorick, and then flashes a big thumbs up whilst grinning.
Hey! Hey! So, for so long we've been down here in these fucking caverns and mines, working, scared of what's out there, but no. With what we've been given, we've been shown a new way. A brand new way. If we arm ourselves, train ourselves and believe, then whatever's out there, whatever's thrown at us, I reckon we can take it on.
Yorick, have you ever noticed how the sunshine casts the longest and darkest shadows?
I have. And I sign language gesture to Thea. We're taking the necklace, and I take off like a shot and I fucking tackle the old man.
All right.
And she'll come behind him to try to rip it off of his neck.
Cool. Let's see how this pans out, shall we? Let's go with old Jurek Embervein. Dexterity. Because he's not got any bonuses to athletics. With you shooting off, I'm going to ask for an athletics roll from you, Yorick. And Thea, Oh, unless this is a crit, I don't think it really matters. Alright, let's see what Jurek does. Oh, man. Am I melting, Smith? Yes, I am melting. It's fucking hot. It's good, but it's not enough. What happens? What's the scene play out like, both of you?
I just tackle him, and I've now got him in a bear hug. Got his arms and legs pinned with my...
What are you doing? Get off me! Oh, Simba! Simba, do not let them!
Katrina is gonna intervene with Siba if she tries to move towards him, and she's gonna say, "It's for his own good. It's a necklace."
And as he's pinned down, Thea, because she's rushing to you just in case if like Yurik needed like assistance holding him down, which I'm sure Yurik has got it handled. But she's gonna take and she's just gonna rip it off of his neck and then go back to the other end of the room to kind of keep the distance to give time for whatever needs to happen with the necklace not being in his possession, and she's gonna hide it where he can't see it either.
Grom starts moving.
Before you do anything, I also want you just to roll me a Forbidden Law check with advantage, please, Grom.
Yep.
As soon as that necklace is removed, something will happen that you will know about. So I just want you to roll that first, and then carry on with what you're going to do. Okay, cool.
Jesus, I'd just like to have one good Forbidden Law roll.
I mean, it's enough. I was looking for a 10.
So Grom starts moving forward. Peace, Siba. And takes one of the carved protection runes out, and I press it to his head.
Oh, shit. Okay. That works fucking brilliantly well to what I was about to DM you, but I don't need to. All right. So, with the necklace removed, immediately Durik starts kicking and screaming. His eyes roll back in his head. Thea, you snatch the necklace. Yorick, you have him pinned down. Siba is stood next to you, Katrina, and she just says, "I know. I'm aware." Turns her head away from the scene unfolding. For a brief moment, Grom, the bones in your pouch begin to churn on their own. And you get a vision. And I will send you the picture shortly when I find it.
Okay, look.
The other thing is, as you begin to broach closer to Jurek with this protective pendant, you say you pressed it to his forehead, or?
Yeah, because it's only patch of spare skin I can see.
Yeah. As you press it to his forehead, immediately the area that the skin that it's been pressed to starts to bubble, blister, and burn. And who's familiar with the withering? Like actual withering.
I suppose I would be.
Yep. For a brief moment, Grom, you feel like all hope in Jurek had vanished, and for a brief moment, the withering had just taken hold of him. As soon as that necklace was ripped off, you would see, as you get closer to him, that his eyes that have rolled back start to glow red, like the hot coals of a fire. His skin starts to heat up slightly as almost a point of rapid transformation. Yorick, you will begin to feel that the skin beneath his clothing starts to harden like rock, like coal. This only lasts for a split second, as the pendant is then pushed onto his forehead. This sizzling occurs, and all of a sudden his body twitches, goes limp, and the gnarled screams that were emitting from Durik's mouth cease as he just passes out. talk amongst yourselves while I find something to send to Grom. You're not going to like this. But I'm going to put it out there.
Wonderful.
That treasure was cursed.
I'll just turn to Sybil. I'll be like, that harlot. How many trinkets she hand out?
She handed out when she found the hoard below. She handed a few items out, but then basically said
Rest?
were gathered by others and then distributed to all inhabitants of Lantern Deep.
Except from you.
Something about her was off. You don't see many people. She walked in, she had the atmosphere, the attitude of knowing everything, of knowing all, and with ritual scars like that, well, she screamed bad news. I don't understand why the rest... And she points down to Jurek on the floor, who's now frothing at the mouth, eyes rolled back, completely knocked out. I just don't understand why they succumbed to it, to her. But everything I tried to say, everything I tried to do, just deaf ears.
Is it the trinkets themselves that are gifted, or did she do something about like the area,
Shiba
any
shrugs.
sigils?
Shiba shrugs. I'm
So-
unsure.
So if I was to gift something, would it happen? Did you see anything like that? Maybe somebody...
I don't know. All I know is that she was the one to find the hoard deep underground, and the miners, she gifted them a few trinkets and found some others that she handed to my father and the rest of the council, and from there they proclaimed that all of the trinkets and gems, jewelry moved from this underground chamber was to be distributed amongst everyone.
Where's the rest of the council?
In their chambers. Personal, private chambers is the last I heard earlier this morning.
Katrina will look towards Grom and say, do we need to repeat that procedure with all of them?
Bear with me.
Seeing what...
Sorry, go on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this image. I saved it, but I can't find it. So in that case, what I'm going to have to do is just get not the one. This'll do. I will send you this. Where are you? There you are. You saw this strolling across the ashen wastes just for a brief moment.
Oh no.
Eggle's
Oh,
going
shit,
to
balls.
go over towards Theo with a blanket out. Maybe you don't want to be holding that with your bare hands.
Yeah, I would rather not. It's giving me the ick. She puts it in the blanket.
Eggle's going to wrap it up. It's a sleeping blanket, but, hopefully he'll find a way to dispose of it before he needs to use the thing again.
Mhm.
Seba,
take-
Go ahead.
Go. No, after you.
No, you're good. Go.
Grom takes another one of the pendants out of his pouch and throws it at Thea. Hold that in your hand. Should keep you safe.
She holds on to it really tight.
Seba, the explorer, when she arrived, was she wearing all kinds of jewelry?
No, not that I... well, she had a few, if I remember rightly, a pale cloak, little bit of jewelry. Yes, she was, actually. Many necklaces, but I didn't see her remove them.
Did they look like the one your father was wearing?
She tilts her head to the side, thinking for a moment. No, the one that was handed to my father and the other council members was weighty. They almost dwarven in design, but the ones the traveller had were quite thin, frail, many of them.
Hmm. And these came from in the mines?
I can take you to the location of the old vault if you wish. The last time we were there and had a look, we lit some lanterns, and there are still a few things that need to be moved out. Well, the rest of the settlement was planning on selling them to other havens, or offering them as gifts. Oh.
Did we deal with the council first and then this trove?
Yes, I want to see how this one reacts.
All right. Before we jump into that, we have a raid. Scones Tavern. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it. How did your game go? What were you up to? And if Cacophony has anything to say, Fallout and Dragonbane. I see. Interesting. Well, welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. And RX Oliver, Scones Tavern, thank you. And we've also got Foxy6582. I appreciate the follow. Welcome to our dark corner of Twitch. Players, what do we do here? What? Just as a very brief overview, what's the Cradle of Ruin?
It's the end of the world as we know it. Only really, really slowly.
Really slowly.
A bit like a sweater being unraveled more than like being shattered all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We play D&D 5th edition in a post-apocalyptic setting where the world is slowly coming apart at the seams. And as you can probably tell, it's we're a group of monsters, I guess, apart from Katrina, who's lovely. Anyway, with that said, Durik, the elder, is left on the ground, frothing at the mouth, convulsing occasionally due to this artifact being ripped from him. What are you all up to?
I'm
Just
tending to him.
Are you tending to know? You're gonna see if he'll come round first before we move on.
Yeah, I want to see that for want of a better term, the spell's been broken.
Okay. In that case, then let's go with a medicine check from Eggle, and from you, Grom. What we thinking?
Go on. I know you want to say it. Favorite role.
I do want to say favourite role, but I think I've given you enough of them. Let's have something...
That's fine.
Just roll me a straight concentration check, since you are currently holding this pendant to his forehead. With regards to whether it's taken effect or not, you're not certain, Grom. The only thing that is certain is that you are being fed a few images. First of a abhorrent being, something that shouldn't be but is. Second, a name. And third, whatever is currently trying to hold on to Durick is actively fighting against the Guardian Bones, to the point where you can feel this force now starting to push through the pendant into your arm. I need you to take level 1 point of corruption, please, Grom.
Dun, dun, dun.
The withering is not kind. It is not pleasant. But with that being a crit fail, I am sadly going to have to roll on the withering table. Ba-da-da-da-da. Withering exposure. Let's have a look. Tradition. You forget a personal or cultural tradition. A ritual you followed every season, a story passed down, now meaningless in your hands. So have a think. As you are witnessing something, Grom, that you really shouldn't. And due to that, your sheer force of will, you have to release something. You have to sacrifice something to break contact. So I'm going to leave that with you. That's for you to RP out at some point later down the line. But yeah, have a think. But that's your RP. Forfeit basically for being in direct contact with the source of the withering. But yes, I will say with that though, you do manage to get to the point where you break the connection of whatever had hold on Durick, and he, if left as is, should be fine. Eggle, in regards to his physical state, you see him shift, contort. You see his eyes roll back, start to glow with these red coal-like embers. His skin begins to harden, turn almost rock or coal-like in appearance before, with Grom either screaming or we'll see what happens in a minute, but with Grom breaking the connection to whatever had hold on him from this necklace, these effects begin to fade. His skin begins to soften, his eyes stop glowing, and he returns back to a normal breathing pattern. Clear of its hold, but still a traumatic experience, and Jurek will remain knocked out for quite a while, unconscious.
Can Thea, like, once like things are kind of quiet in the room, can she open the door slightly just to kind of peer out to see, did that trigger any outside crowds or anything like that? If she hears
Absolutely.
any kind of like rustling of crowds kind of being impacted by this.
Sure, roll me a perception check. As you open the door, peer out into the council chamber, Thea. It's empty. You pause for a moment, listen, and you would start to hear something. Maybe they're wails, shouts, screams. But in the room that you just peered into, silence. No one's waiting, no one's coming, but there is something happening deeper in Lantern Deep.
So she'll shut the door really quick so that it's, they're in the sound concealed room and say, I hear shouting. Some unrest out there. No one's out there. But I think what just happened here may have impacted others.
I'm guessing these trinkets that were given to the elders are more potent than the rest.
With a massive sigh, like someone has just put down a heavy weight, Grom sits up. He will recover.
I told him, I warned him about accepting things from fucking strangers, but...
Now, Sibba, I have to ask you to accept something from a stranger. And I give her one of the charms.
Oh. Let's have a look. Oh my god! Ah!
I say, do you want to have a charisma?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to give me a social check against a crit fail to convince her to take it, you're welcome to. But begrudgingly, she, just seeing that this small bone pendant has tortured her father for a moment, she reaches out and snatches it from your hand, Grom, before nodding. Hey, alright, And you're positive that he's gonna be alright, hey?
I saw the connection break. He will need rest, but he will recover.
She nods slowly and begins to look over this bone pendant. This is from the Spires of Holorest, eh?
It's cut from the guardian bones themselves and inscribed with a rune of protection by myself.
I dare say this would fetch a pretty good trade. And she grins for a moment at you, Grom, before just tucking it down her armor.
I dare say people would pay a great deal for something potent as that.
Well, I dare say they're gonna have to praise it from my cold dead hands, but... my old man here was able to walk and talk. The rest... lost to... well, they were just staring into their necklaces like it was the only thing that mattered. I can show you to their chambers if you want, but you'll not get much sense out of them.
We can repeat this process with each of the elders. The only trouble is the noise. Luckily here, the sound was deadened by the room we're in.
Sybil looks at Grom and then towards Thea and Yorick. Well, worst case scenario, we can just, drag their arses in here.
I mean, yeah, I think I could carry 4 dwarfs on my own. Let's go.
Now, I like violence and forcefulness, like any other orc, but wouldn't they hear them kicking and screaming? Are we gonna silence them beforehand, knock them out, or do we invite them here? Maybe somebody can convince them to come one by one?
Sybil just looks towards Eggle. I think that's your time to shine, medicine man.
Well, it sounds like they might be uninterested in doing anything but staying where they are with whatever they were given. But we can go have a look. If that hollering you heard wasn't somehow related to them.
What about sedatives? You got sedatives?
Nothing that'll knock anyone out aside from probably just a couple. It's going to be down to us to either take it from them or force them here or convince them.
Do you have anything we could shove in their mouths to keep them quiet?
You could make a gag out of anything, couldn't you?
I mean, I'm not opposed to forcefully keeping them quiet if we need to. Guess we can.
Remember, the idea is not to kill them.
They can breathe through their nose. We can. Do we have any? Let's go round up some sheets and.
Here's the thing, Grom. If this is, they're not sick. There's some type of a magic curse or something on them from this from these things. Where they came from, there might be information about what's affecting them.
Mm-hmm.
There might be something about it, or maybe that's why it was all in a vault, because it was supposed to be sealed away. There might be something about it there.
Yes. We know we can cure them at a time of our leisure. Let's see if we can find anything from the vault.
Can I heed a potential warning? Let's not decide to do anything hasty on if we find like a mound of them, because of what we've heard, we may have, I don't know, how many do we think are impacted? They would be potentially coming in swarms.
The whole colony.
Yeah. So we
-2.
just won't touch anything.
Okay, let's check out this vault and let's make it quick.
All right. Well, in that case, if you'll follow me, it's a bit of a walk, but well, I'll show you to it now. And you're guarantee he'll be all right here? Do you want to leave anyone with him, or do we take him with us, or... She just points to Jurek, who's on the floor, completely unconscious.
Well, there's air in here. Can we jam the door from outside so he can't get out?
I'm sure you can find a creative way to jam the door.
He doesn't know what's going on. He might be a danger to himself. You never know.
I believe he will sleep for some time.
Siddha nods and opens the door, letting you all step into the central council chamber. Anyone doing anything to lodge the lodge the door shut?
No, but Katrina is gonna turn to oh god, I'm blanking on her name. Say it. Is there a key to this room? Yeah.
No keys, sadly. It's just and she just motions again and puts her hand on it. The door opens with just a push, and closes with the same.
Would there be wooden chairs?
Yeah, there's wooden chairs.
Okay,
There's the 5 wooden chairs that the council sits upon.
All right, she's gonna grab one of those and smash it so that she can get kind of like, sticks to jam up under the door to lodge it.
Wait, what do you do? Smash! Sid has just witnessed a chair that's probably 600 years or more older, an antique, the relic of Lantern Deep, just gets smashed up as you get some of the wooden pieces in hand.
It can be fixed.
What do you do?
You're crafty.
What happened to let's not do anything rashly? Huh? Wasn't it you that said those exact words? Let's not do anything rashly, huh?
But Eggle said that we need to lock him in and we need to jam.
It was an idea, but I would have just pushed the big freaking table against the door.
What if he was really strong? You don't know how strong he is. I mean,
well, then he'd get very tired trying to move it before he got it out. I think it would buy his time.
Well, now his ass is not getting out of here. Am I right? Anyways, you guys need to quit dwelling on it. It's already happened.
Well, that's a life day you're paying. I'm out of here.
Well, so, but we should probably be on before she finds something else to destroy.
Only if it's needed. I don't just go around destroying things. There's a purpose. And she's gonna, some of that chair that she has broken apart, what she didn't lodge up under the door, she's gonna put in her pack.
Roll me a d4. Your pack's pretty full. You'll only be able to carry a few pieces of wood. I would say you managed to collect 4 1-foot-long pieces of splintered wood from this 600-year-old dwarven throne. It's highly engraved, the fine detail, a couple of depictions of what seems to be dwarves moving into mountains, of a fireball, but scrap wood for the moment. And with that, you cram...
Fine improvised weapons.
You gain 4 pieces of the finest improvised weapon going. Granted, that echo from the smashed throne echoed throughout the chamber and no doubt beyond. It's almost like you've gone into Kargath's own fucking chieftain's hut, smashed his table up.
She would do it.
But yeah, with if Siddha could go pale, she would be at this point. You just see her pointing at the ruins of the chair, pointing at you, Thea. Her mouth moving, but no words coming out. The ancestral.
It had to be done.
No,
No, I really didn't.
no.
You guys will thank me later.
In a haze, she turns her back on the destroyed chair and begins to make her way towards the two swinging doors that comprise the entrance to the council chamber. Do you follow?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's the only one that knows the way.
Mm-hmm. Things have changed slightly. As she pushes the door open, revealing the long corridor, you begin to hear a choir, but not a choir that's singing in harmony. This is a choir of wails, of anguish. And as you continue making your way through the teal corridor that has the various depictions and inscriptions, she opens the other doors back into the central forge area, and all of the dwarves that were previously working away hard now seem to be bereft of expression almost, to the point, well, not so much bereft, but more, you would see dwarves crouched over their anvils, crying, wailing, weeping. You would see others who were labourers who were moving things who have dropped what they were carrying and now seem to be screaming or crying to the ceilings. Seeing this, Sida immediately catches her breath. Her eyes go wide as she looks around at this scene. What was once happy and harmonious, now the opposite. And it's also at that moment where you would all feel an incredibly oppressive force start to push on you. I need everyone here to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
$22.
Oh wait, I rolled the wrong thing. Hold on.
So, seeing this scene, this force pressing against you is that of hopelessness, of panic, of something being taken away. This is how a haven falls. This oppressive force has another name of hope than hopelessness. It is the Withering. Katrina. Oh no, Grom. I need both of you to take a point of corruption, please.
Oh,
Grom.
shit.
You are already feeling somewhat, I wouldn't say weak, but tuned in to this force due to what you've just witnessed. And now that it seems to be rippling out across Lantern Deep, you are even more attuned to it, hence why. So for both of you to what it looked like as this wall of negativity basically washes over you.
Well, for me, instead of walking straight back, I'm hunched over like an old man. Using my staff as a walking aid rather than a symbol of office. Eyes downcast and starting to show signs of tiredness.
Katrina, what about you?
Katrina just kind of puts a hand to her forehead and squeezes her eyes shut for a moment, like she's just had the worst possible migraine set in. And does she know what's happening to her?
Roll me a Forbidden Law check. I'm going to say DC 10. No. Maybe the only thing is that comes to mind is when all hope is lost, havens fall.
So she her natural reaction to when people are in low spirits is to pull out her pan flute, which is not in my inventory, and she starts playing like a soft lullaby to try and soothe her own headache and maybe cheer up the people around her.
All right. Roll me a. Let me put that flute in your inventory. Boop. There you go. You have a pan flute. Roll me a check with said pan flute.
Alright, pan flute check. Play a known tune?
Up to you. Is it a known tune or is it an improvised one?
It's a known tune.
Alright.
Wait, did I do that right?
Yeah.
I don't think I did that right.
You did indeed. You did that perfectly. DC 10. You just click the button. So, as you were all walking, before I do that, I need to just see whether Sibba fails her, fails her withering check. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't.
No. She's got that fucking rune bone.
She has,
thing around her.
yes, you're right, absolutely. So that 20, that's a crit success. She seems to stride forward, to the point where the wails and cries of those around her just don't seem to bother her. Katrina, with you making your way, you whip your flute out and begin to play a tune. This, actually, on this one occasion, I'm going to say is enough to stave off the corruption for both you and Grom. If does Grom find enjoyment in this?
Yep.
Better than a handy.
Yeah. Well, in my mind, it's like the comforting lullaby that mothers sing to their children in the hollow.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like we all enjoy it because we remember it from our childhood. But the lyrics are something like, "Look out, or the dark will get you. You might die if you're sad." Just like shit. Like it's very morbid, but it's a comforting childhood memory.
But it's something that can anchor you in a time and a place that was happier, which is the anathema of the withering. So with that, yes, I'm going to say that due to this, Grom, you remember this tune from your younger days, Katrina, you too, and that staves off the corrupting effects of the withering. Now, what you've also done is you've now given me something that can get rid of the withering, but should Katrina ever be exposed, have to roll on the withering exposure, there is a chance you will forget this tune.
I know 20 others. Try me, No, wait, I shouldn't say that.
That'd be really cheeky.
Go for it. You can always ask.
This is the first time Grom's ever heard this tune.
You son of a bitch. If that's the case, then that would probably actually spiral you elsewhere because you're hearing this song in a shitty circumstance, and the memory that would join. No, I'm not going to be that much of a dick. But no, that's fine. I'm going to say that's with this tune. If you enjoy it, maybe you haven't heard it before, but I would say in this instance, yes, you enjoy it, Grom. So, it's
There's something nostalgic about it, but you don't know why.
yeah.
Yeah, because I've forgotten it from the thing earlier.
You fucker. I mean, what was the thing you forgot? A tradition? This song, I guess, would be a tradition.
Tradition.
So you are.
As Bone Singer, I go around to every newborn in the thing, so I would hear it on a daily basis.
I fucking hate you lot. Cool. Absolutely. I am well on board with that. So yes, Katrina, you play this song that is a tradition in a child song, perhaps from Hollow Rest. Grom, that was the memory that you lost from the withering exposure, and you get to experience this all over again. Well played. Well played. So yeah, you both recover 1 point of corruption. Grom, you're still on 1 point, but the first point doesn't do anything. Okay, so with that, Sibba begins to escort you back through the forge area of Lantern Deep. Here, the dwarves are all wailing, crying out in sorrow. Any ideas why? Go on.
Does the music from her pan flute have any positive impact on the people they walk by as she's playing it?
Sadly not. Sadly not. This is a tune that they're unaware of, and for whatever reason they are now mourning or wailing. They just seem to blank out the sounds from your flute.
I wonder if the necklaces themselves has some sort of control over the other trinkets. So thereby losing one of the infected that held a necklace, part of their command structure has been taken away.
Without a roll needed, that certainly, Grom, seems to be what's happening. Now, if you wish for a little bit more, you can roll me a Forbidden Law roll.
Yeah, let's get another terrible Forbidden Law.
It's 10. It's enough for a little bit of extra info. You're certainly on the right path. It seems for a moment that you get the impression that with this connection to all of the trinkets, the sorrow felt by Jurek at having this trinket removed from him was passed around to all others that were in the similar control sphere. So by removing more from the others, this may then cascade into a situation that is potentially irredeemable. Or not. Who knows? But if removing the one necklace from one caused this, what's 4 more going to do?
Kill or cure.
Did you voice the thought that it might be connected?
Yep.
Well, if that's the case, maybe we could use this is a way to affect the greater presence or whatever it is.
Yes, I think more information definitely is required before we run off half-cocked.
Right. Well, we'll go see if there's anything there. And along the way, Eggle's just dreaming of a way to, like he's thinking about like poisoning like a colony of like rats or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's thinking about ways to just like use this thing as a gateway to destroy whatever it is.
Siba begins to lead you through another set of corridors that then drops into various shafts. Eventually, you reach a point that seems to be the outer periphery of Lantern Deep. Previously, there was lanterns, support beams, and signs of civilization. Here, this seems to be a more of a newly mined area. The rock is hewn roughly. At some parts of this mine shaft, you have to squeeze through tighter entrances. For dwarves, it's not so bad because they're shorter. Eggle, you have no problem whatsoever. Grom, Yorick, definitely more problematic for you two, being quite large. In fact, Yorick, roll me an acrobatics check. Since you're the biggest.
Run like a chimp. Acrobatics, yeah.
Acrobatics. This is more of you trying to squeeze through areas. No, that's not good. What happens in one of these tighter confines of one of the tunnels? What setback occurs?
Well, Thea's behind him, distracting him, and he's already hunched over like a fucking gorilla, using his knuckles to get along, because he's fucking 8 foot tall, and it's a 5 foot tall fucking thingy. But there's a little drop down where there's like a stone support, like for doorway, and he turns around right into it and fucking smack head first into it.
Seeing Yorick just headbutt a low part of wall, Siba chuckles, tries to suppress it but it doesn't work before she starts belly laughing. This is not really the ideal place for you folk, is it?
No, heads up would have been, like, literally a heads up would have been great.
But I thought it would have been a heads down.
Eggle,
Yeah. Head
Shut
down
up.
makes more sense.
Don't fucking encourage him.
The walk continues a little further before eventually you reach a part of the shaft that seems to open out into ancient stonework. Here, the rock peels back and you've got bricks left, right, stealing. There are a few lanterns that have been lit, giving the impression that this place was discovered relatively recently. There's a thick layer of dust on the ground, and just ahead you see along this brickwork corridor even more illumination. A somewhat bluish and green tinged light seems to light up what's ahead of you. Siba turns to you all. This beyond is the treasury, the chamber we found where all of the goods were. There's a couple of other entrances that we've started digging through. So some lanterns are lit, but, once my father and the other elders were given their necklaces, they ceased further production. So I would imagine some of the lanterns and lighting by now have started to die out. But several of the moths made their way behind us, and some even have set up a colony above this chamber. And they move real quick when something new opens up. Almost like they're looking out for us.
Is there loads of moths here? Like,
You don't see any at the moment, but you do see the chamber ahead seems to be illuminated with this bluish, purplish tinge that signifies a moth colony.
This area we're entering, does it seem like it's they made it sound like it was just like a vault? Is it more than that? Like, is there like an entire like structure down here, and they've just like, does it seem like there's a lot more to it than just treasure room?
Certainly seems like there may be more to it. The stonework that's now surrounding you on this corridor as you make your way forward is old, ancient. You would see what looks to be dwarven runes, but ancient. In fact, you know what? Best thing to do would be to bring you into this scene. As you step forward through this corridor, it opens out into a vast chamber. This chamber seems to have a row of pillars that runs the center. Again, a few of the lanterns have been lit. This place has been explored recently. But dust, cobwebs, rubble seem to be strewn all over the place. Sibba motions to the room as you step in. Welcome to what we found. To the left there, and she points towards an illuminated corridor, that's what we were currently in the process of excavating, along with the chamber ahead. So that only goes for 50 or so feet before ending in rock. Above us there is a portcullis, but nothing we've tried. We've not been able to move it nor cut through it. And she points towards the upper level where you see a portcullis that is ancient, rusted, but unmoved. From this distance, you probably see a few shiny parts where axes or swords or boulders or other implements have been used to try and open it, to no avail. From there, you would see scattered across the floor various urns, each one spewing out gold coins, gems, trinkets, and various other bits and pieces. And last of all, as Sibba casts her eyes across the room, she just looks at this large, open hole in the ground. That's new. Here, this large hole that seems to have fell into the earth below, taking one of the pillars with it in the process. Above you... Oh, sorry, go on, Thea.
She was just going to respond with, "Of course it is."
Above you, you would see several bluish, purplish glowing figures. That of the cave moths that illuminate some of Lantern Deep. Two of them in particular seem to be incredibly large in size, but you can't make out all of the details, perhaps with the exception of two big black eyes looking down beneath this glowing wing. Just watching, waiting.
May I ask a couple questions?
Absolutely. As you step into the room, now it's time for asking questions.
Does the treasure strewn about seem like it's been down here for centuries?
It certainly does. Looking at the nearby statue, it appears to be that of a dwarf, but again, some of the jewellery strewn about its feet looks like the trinkets, the jewellery offered to members of Lantern Deep.
Just to be safe. And I'll pass out the remaining bone discs to the party that hasn't got one. I don't need one because I've got a staff of Guardian.
Yeah.
Yorick will thankfully take it. And he's just eyeballing the fuck out of this moth on the ceiling. Is it bigger than the rest, did you say?
There's two of them that seem to be incredibly large, to the point where its body alone is about your size, Yorick.
Shit. It's a big...
It's big. It's big. Yeah. Yeah, there's two of them are huge, but they're roughly 30, 40 feet above your head. Just watching you as you step in.
We just come across moths or...
So the hole, it's new?
Sibba nods. Yes, well, when we were here a few days back, that pillar was upright.
Can I tell if something's burrowed its way in?
Roll me an investigation check.
Like a large creature? Investigation.
And roll me an investigation.
Has the dirt been pushed up or fallen down?
From the position you are near the door, you can't really tell.
Okay.
Do you wish to go closer?
Sure.
Katrina's gonna ask
okay.
Shiba. Katrina's gonna ask Shiba real quick. Were the malls here when you first discovered it?
No, they followed us in when the breach was made in here. But I didn't see those two units of moths. They're new. Normally, ones that size, we tend to call them the Guardians of the Mines. They're the ones that watch over us when we're either in a dangerous area or they're usually the first ones to warn us of ill intent.
Huh, and they
On
showed up
hearing
here. Oh, go for it.
Roll me the bones,
pulls
Grom.
the bag of bones and dumps them out. My favourite.
No, I'm not even going to need you to roll on this one. The position they land in is one of danger. A gust of wind, seemingly from nowhere, rattles down the passage you've just come through, washing over you, Grom. That's of a warning. And it's there as Yorick steps forward, closer, to the...
I snatch up the bones before anything happens. I'm just putting that out there.
Katrina was gonna go over and try and
Yeah.
communicate with the large moths.
Yeah. So you've still got a little bit of time. Yorick's making his way across the floor. Grom's dumping his dice out. This is all going on at the same time. Katrina, what are you doing?
She moved forward, like, to get, like, a touch closer to the moths and is looking up at them, attempting to make eye contact and, like, sort of sends out mental and verbally at the same time. Are you here to help protect this place from what dwells within this room?
I shall put them on the table for you all so that you can see them. And there's the other one. They are big. They are big. Roll me an animal handling check. The moth
Well, I'm dead.
just stays stuck to the ceiling, its head craned down. You would see two furry antennae just wiggle slightly in your direction as its two black eyes regard you, but there is no movement, no response. It just sits there glowing on the ceiling ominously.
Can I ask a question
Of course you can.
to Siba?
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna say, was it you that was telling us the stories of those creatures that were helping in the mines in the past? How did you control them back then? Or do you have stories of how you controlled them?
Control them? What, the moths? No, we don't control them. This is their home. We just live with them. And over the years, they've always warned us or looked out for things like cave-ins, or if we were about to mine into a water reservoir, they'd flutter in front of our faces.
So it was the moths that helped with the carts and the railings.
Oh,
and
those?
keeping it.
Oh,
I was talking about those creatures.
Oh, those all.
yeah.
I have no idea, but I'm just saying that, giant beasts of steel that spewed steam from their mouths, that'd have been a sight. We could have used them. I've got just the old stories that I've heard. Supposedly our ancestors made or tamed these giant steel beasts of legend, but I've not seen or heard of anything more in recent time. In fact, I don't think there's anyone here in Hollow Rest that's ever come across something of the ilk.
And no stories of how those were tamed.
No, just
They sound
gone.
like machines.
Machines tamed them.
No.
I'm just saying. I mean, do you know how ridiculous you sound by saying machines tamed them?
I'm saying it sounds like they were machines, not animals.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense because you were sounding a little off your rocker there for a minute.
Like the carts we have in the storage area. Like if... they're made out of canvas, hung from bones, bone wheels. But, like, it sounds like these were made out of metal. I think machines is the right word, based on my studying.
Is that right, Siba? What
How
does it sound like machines?
it's absolutely. Machines are known, typically more stories of things called the walking machines, which above table, things like golems. But yeah, again, above table, it very much sounds like this steel beast that spewed steam was some form of automaton or a construct, a machine that used to do the work for them. like most things passed down through word of mouth and legend over hundreds of years. It seems now it's just a beast of steel that spewed steam from its mouth.
Yurik,
What?
do you feel steam?
What?
Do you feel warmth in the air? Is there steam? Like, have you ever like had steam coming off of you because of like you got out of steam? God damn it! Why do I have to?
I know what fucking steam is. Let's go look at the hole. Does he see steam?
No. You see what looks like long, spindly arms
No,
resting
definitely
forward.
not steam.
A large gaping maw. And at that moment, rising out of this hole is a 4, 5, 6, 8, 10-legged creature with scales that seem to ripple from its head. And at that moment, we'll call a beer out back, shall we?
Oh, that's not a bad feel. I love it.
So yeah, on that, as this horrific amalgamation of insect, of stone, of who knows what, begins to crawl out of the hole right in front of you, Yorick, we'll be right back. I need a drink.
Back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Fun fact, I've got a moth in my room at this moment in time. It knows. Alright, a couple of things. As this thing starts to rise out of the crater. Grom. This bears a striking resemblance to a vision you had earlier.
Lovely.
The shiny armoured plates that seem to roll off of its head down its back. The arms, whilst insectoid in nature, seem to end in a disfigured hand. Almost like a body has been weirdly twisted and contorted into this horrific amalgamation. And the last thing that will garner your attention is in the forehead of this creature, there seems to be a small... In fact, probably only Yorick would see this being this close. In the forehead of this creature, there seems to be a... what's best described as a small shard of glass that's been stuck into the head, and this face that you see has some semblance of dwarvenness to it. Almost like the jaw's been peeled back, broken open, teeth have grown in its place from top and bottom. The sockets have broken and moved to the side of the head. There is a small tuft of hair just on the top of the thing's head, but ribs, as it begins to rear up, Yorick, you would see that the ribs have grown into these spindly arm-like appendages. And overall, it's... whoever this thing was had it rough.
Is that the gist I'm getting from it? This used to
Absolutely.
be a dwarf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
I don't recognize it, do I?
Roll me
Let's put it this way: I've met the council. Do I recognize it?
It has some features that are vaguely familiar.
Let's roll just to see.
Yes. Yes. For a brief moment, a memory of one of the elders, a chap by the name of Boran Greyspire, crosses your mind.
He'll just go, Boran. Oh no. Loud enough for Simmer to hear.
Okay. I just realised I changed the HP on the actor, not on this one that was in. This was an old one, but fuck it, we ball. Seeing this though, the moths up above immediately seem to jump into action. Their wings spread wide, and the two largest ones begin to dive down from the ceiling. Fuck it, let's everyone roll me initiative in this madness. Sibert, there she is. We'll bring her in as well. Alright. The corpse-like moth, for this moment, dips forward, perching, landing on the pillar right in front of Eggle. And as it latches on, it begins to scuttle around the side, looking down at him. For the moment, it just seems to stay there, looking down, trying to judge the situation. Eggle, what are you up to?
Well, these monsters are creepy as hell. And doesn't really like the fact that it's like getting closer when this thing's attacking, but he has an eye on this thing that's coming up out of the depths, and he knows York was just over there, so he knows it's pretty important to deal with that. So he's going to actually gonna go over here.
Okay.
Get behind this bench or whatever, and he's just gonna sling a poison needle at this thing. Just, it's clear that it's not friendly or neutral, so he's just like,
Absolutely.
ah.
The needle hits. turn that down quick. For 8 damage. Alright. Absolutely. The needle finds its mark, puncturing it into the hide of this giant, lurking, dwarven monstrosity. Any further actions?
Gonna turn you into a sled when you're dead. And then he just hunkers down.
The moth positions itself now almost vertically, looking down at you, Eggle, and you would notice its head just follows this needle as you throw it out towards this giant lurker. Roll me an animal handling check quick.
Not my best. Oh, yeah.
But the dice love you, baby.
It's not your best, but of course, the dice do love you. You would see that from its vertical position, it starts to turn more horizontal, looking at this giant lurker. And from there, it would start to flap its wings once or twice and set off in the direction of it. So I'm going to move its other, just another 5 feet in the direction of the lurker. All right, Thea, you're up.
Would we get a sense of that they're going to maybe attack that, or is it more protecting?
Got me an animal handling check. $18. Eggle seems to already know what they're doing, and you too seem to get a rough idea as you watch this moth turn its attention towards this corrupted dwarf, and it doesn't seem to be hostile to you. Perhaps it's gonna try and force off the corrupted dwarf.
Perhaps. All right, she is going to move up and is going to take one of her precious chair legs and is going to throw it.
It hits. For 8
And I
damage.
didn't add my for throwing.
+2.
Yep, +2 for
Okay.
that. And then let's shatter that
Oh
leg.
my god. For another point damage. So, as you throw this ancestral piece of chair leg at a dwarven council elder, there is a brief moment of recognition on its face. And is that your turn done?
She's got like a little bit of movement, so she's gonna try to hide behind this pillar now.
You're such a fucking.
But yes, that's it for her turn.
Setting off at a rapid pace using a legendary action, this thing locks. You see the head turn towards you, Thea, as there is a brief sense of recognition on its features. Yes, its one eye is larger than the other, or misshapen, the jaws broken apart and turned into a mandible, but there is a moment of realization that it's just been hit with perhaps its own throne. Completely ignoring Yorick, it's going to push past, or at least over Yorick. This thing just steps directly over you as it skitters across the ground, and Thea, as part of its legendary action, He gets to charge. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, please. Oh. Several of the rib appendages lash forward like spikes towards you as it raises up in front of you, and at the last minute you just manage to dip to the side. You don't take any damage from that. Alright. Katrina, you're up.
Well, now that it's almost right in front of her face, Katrina is gonna kind of circle around to the side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like in there. And she is going to poke it up the butt.
Its butt's pretty hard as you scoot round. These plates seem to be made of bone, and as you stab into it, the spear tip just skitters across the edge.
Okay, well, you know, it's just... And take things into her own hands, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If in doubt, fist its butt.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Not with a 2, you know.
your fist just crumples once again against hardened bone. And again. Oh no.
She's just there next to York, like... But not actually making anything happen.
I'm so sorry.
Fine.
Grom, you're up.
Righto. So, first thing I'm going to do is use my bonus action.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry, I forgot Rune. Let me put him in for you. There you go.
Oh, very much. Oh, shit. I start by ringing out. Face now.
All right. Charisma. It's not good. As you shout out to it, it seems to prop its head up, regards you for a moment, Grom, before you would see the mouth try and make some words, as the whole body just twists to look back at Thea. Completely ignoring you, but giving you advantage.
Delightful.
Oh no. The worm. The worm.
The worm.
The worm hits.
So I raise my staff, and the mouth of the skull opens, and this green, horrific sort of smoke dribbles out and slithers across the floor before jumping up into its chest.
Roll damage. Alright. Fucking hell. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Let me I don't think that applied, so... No, hang on. 3... That one there. There we go. No, still did it wrong. 372. Boom. Okay.
Cheers for
So yeah, as the worm jumps into it, it starts to eat through the softer underbelly of the once dwarf, easily finding its mark. And anything further from you? Any bonus actions?
Yep. I've used my bonus action. All I have left is my movement, which I'm going to 1, 2, 3, hop the edge of the staircase.
Yeah.
And move 1, 2, 3, up it.
No.
And Rune's obviously going to come up here.
Yeah. All right. Lurker itself, it will, still taking offense at Thea hitting it with the chair leg. You would see the tendrils now start to aim themselves towards you again, Thea, and it gets 3 of these. So the first one strikes towards you, misses. The second one also then... Oh, I'll get back to that in a minute, but that's a crit fail. The third one swings in. And also hits. So, as it's in the process of rearing up, anyone within... In fact, you know what? I'll give you all a free attack against it. As it slowly begins to rise up. This thing's not super quick or dexterous. It's, again, basically a mutated dwarf, and it's easily telegraphing it's about to attack Thea. Thea, you see the first strike coming in, and you think you've got a brief moment to strike out and hit it. So, absolutely, everyone, you get a free attack against it for that first crit fail. But then after that, Thea, you're going to get... it's going to hit you twice. And it's going to hurt.
Great.
All right, Katrina, you stab through. We'll do Katrina's first. The spear goes in for 5 damage. Anything you wish to add to that? Any other extra bits from your ferocity?
I don't think I have enough. I only have 2.
Okay. In that case then, so you strike out, stab it. Yorick then comes in with the great axe. Swing and a miss. Thea, you're close. You can be the next one. You strike out to attack. What do you do?
I mean, she's doubling down on this chair thing, but she's gonna go for the eyes.
And miss. It's too high. As you try and stab its eyes, it just rises.
Yep.
A ranged attack or a spell from Eggle?
Okay, I thought you only meant people in melee.
No. It's giving everyone a chance to attack it as it's slowly starting to rise up. That'll do. The second needle flies through, puncturing into it. Poison needle. Okay, that's that one. Last but not least, Grom. Anything from you?
I've got advantage on this.
You do because of face down.
Yep, all attacks till the end of my next turn.
Yeah. Oh, fuck off.
And that's a crit.
That's a crit.
Send it. Jesus.
Boom.
You slam into its open chest with the Eldritch Blast, and it's at this point where it now starts to descend. These 2, or 3, should I say, spiked tendrils slam into Thea. The first one misses. The second
Well-
one... Go on.
Can she her shield? Because she's got like three hits on that shield.
Yep, so that bumps your AC with the shield to 18. In fact, no, it doesn't.
So
Sorry.
shield-
Hang on. Let me double check what we did with the shield. So, wielding the shield increase your armor class by 2. You can benefit from one shield at a time. After taking damage 4 times, the shield breaks. So your AC has gone from 14 to 16 with the shield.
I mean,
So-
I'm not wanting to break the shield, but I am wanting to use some shield help. Will it help me with this?
No, it's already included into your armor class at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically bumped you from a 14 to a 16. And it hits you on a 18 and a 27. So just basically after you've taken taking damage 4 times, the shield breaks. So this will be 2 times. So after 2 more times, that's when your shield will break and drop you to 14 AC. So first damage as the first spine sticks in you, and that is the second. Oh, ooh, that's better. First one grazes your upper arm, shaving off a chunk of flesh, but the second spine from under it, this rib that's now a appendage, just punctures into your lower stomach, Thea. 23 points of damage.
I don't like it.
Oh no. Yorick, you're up.
It's me! Let there be carnage. Let there be blood. Let there be rage. Bonus action, rage. That's a natural one.
Oh. Kicks out a back tendril towards you. Hits. For...
Oh my god.
20
Actually,
damage.
hold on. I've just realised something that's in your favour. Maybe?
It is in my favor. I took a critical hit.
Right.
That's 3 goal points.
Let me just double check that. 2d8 and 1d8 necrotic damage. It's not including the necrotic damage in that roll when it should be.
Wait, so it's
Actually,
3D?
no. It's fine. No, it's not. It's 2d8. No, it's fine. I was looking at something else that it has, which doesn't matter. So yeah, it is. So it would be 20 bludgeoning damage as this thing slams into you. I was looking at the other thing that it's got.
Half of that then.
So 10 since you're raging. No. So the reason I said that is you would see that from, or at least Thea, from its mouth, it seems to have this burning orb slowly growing in its mouth, but it's like black fire. As it begins to grow in size, almost to the point where it's about to spew this black fire on you, Thea, you would notice that for some reason it just seems to fade, and you would see a few particles just wisp out of its mouth in the direction of the moths.
Oh,
These
that's sweet.
corpse-like moths, each friendly creature within 30 feet of the moth has resistance to necrotic damage.
That's pretty good.
Who are Moths friendly with?
It seems to be you guys, as you'll find out in a moment after Yorick's turn. Yorick, what are you up to? Anything further?
No, that's all my turns. Yeah.
All right. So we then go to the other corpse-like moth down below. That will dip down to the ground and immediately latch onto the back of the lurker. In fact, I'll put it there. And that will attempt to stick its spiny little mouthy thing. Or not. Or not. With a 2.
The dice are cursed today.
They really are. Multi-attack. It's going to go again. It's got a second attack. So it's going to try and stab the old... Fuck off. Okay. Yeah, that's all it can do. So yeah, you see this corpse-like moth, this one of the larger ones, swoop down, latch onto the back of the lurker, and just immediately start stabbing it, trying to suck up nutrients from within. Sibba, she isn't very good, but she's gonna do her best. Bless her. She's gonna go in and with the... I'm gonna find what I'm looking for. Come on, Sibba. Where's your weapon? There we go. Battle axe. She gets to swing twice with multi-attack. Oh, I didn't target the damn thing. 12 misses. Second attack. She hits. Sibba lands the axe into the lurker for 8. Fucking hell. 8 damage. Alright. Respectable. The other moth will do the same. That'll come in. Drop down to your height. And this time, instead of trying to bite, what's this do? You would see the second moth come down, start fluttering, beating its wings in front of the lurker. And the wings immediately start to glow and glow and glow. That's a shame. As these wings glow, you begin to see like some of the fur, the shards in its wing just start casting out into the air, burrowing into the lurker for half damage. But it is what it is. Eggle, you're up.
Eggle sees the situation and he's thinking that maybe the poison isn't doing such a great job because this thing appears to be a dwarf that's been... Yeah, so he's going to actually cast a spell.
Okay.
Caustic Grip.
Ooh.
And he's going to dash up and he's going to try to grab hold of this thing's back leg with the Caustic Grip.
Okay. Yeah. And you do.
So 8 points of acid.
Yep.
And he is restrained until the end of my next turn.
So, one thing you will notice, that as you grip on, the flesh begins to bubble and sizzle, being eaten away rapidly. Giving you the idea, the impression that it's actually vulnerable to acid. And it's restrained. Is it restrained or are you restrained to it?
What it says is they're restrained to the end of my next turn, but they can make a strength check
Absolutely.
against my spell save DC to break it.
Cool. So, I mean, rules-wise, I'm happy with it being restrained. I was just going more for flavour.
Oh yeah. You know, I realize this is a bit weird, and like that might not necessarily be the case, but Eggle's just thinking like, searing pain will do the trick.
I don't have a restraint, so I will put it as grappled. There we go. So, with Eggle burning through its leg, you would see that the body just turns to the side. It looks towards Eggle, and Eggle's now stuck It loses concentration on the rest of you, giving you all advantage on attacks. Anything further, Eggle?
Eggle just really hopes that everybody does damage, and he hopes he survives this.
Thea, you're up.
All right. Thea is going to use her bonus action and do second wind
Okay.
so that she can get some healing to herself.
Why, were you a bit tender there?
She'll never admit it.
Cool. 8 points restored.
Now, if I use... How many ferocity points? If I use a ferocity point, does that count as my action, or do I get to
Nope.
do that and then do my action?
All of your ferocity abilities are free abilities to do. So
Okay.
if you use ferocity or anything from the ferocity stuff, that is a free action. You can do it at any point as long as you have the points for it.
Okay. All right. I'm going to use Brute, which it says, as an action, you can spend 3 ferocity points for 1 minute. When you do, your size increases by 1 category to a maximum size of large. Your reach increases by 5 feet. Your weapon attacks deal an additional 1d6 damage, and you gain 1d6 temporary hit points at the start
Okay.
of each of your turns. So I'm going to use Brute. Do I go ahead and use it, or do I do my action first?
Yeah, throw up Brute.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to change some of these just to be free use, because even like Katrina's thing needs to.
Okay. So she's gonna. I mean, she's sticking with this chair. I don't know why.
Just went from a club to a knife.
Yeah, to a big wooden stake. You're just going to stab it in. 25 hits. You force it into...
Yes, and she's gonna go for the eyes with this.
All right. Dexterity saving throw. And it fails. You stab it in the eyes.
Okay, perfect. Let me, and then, so it will shatter, but let me do my normal
So
damage.
normal damage first. And then you get an extra 1d6 damage.
1d6.
So you can just click the
So let me
D6 at the bottom.
D6.
Oh my god.
Oh, thank the God Titans. And let's.
And then shatter it.
Yes.
I mean, it's pretty good.
All right, and since it is kind of, is it grappled, or its focus is on Eggle? Does that mean that if I was to step away, no opportunity attacks?
It's blind. You've stabbed
And
it.
blind?
You've stabbed it in the eye. It's
Okay.
blind. It can't see.
So nobody look and judge Thea for this. But she's getting the hell out of it.
I can see you, and I am judging everything you do.
Slightly over here. Okay.
Rune's giving you the judgy stare.
You guys can go to hell. All right. She's dead.
All right. Legendary action from the lurker to thrash the fuck around at someone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 targets. So starting 1 Sibber, 2 Moth, 3 Eggle, 4 Yorick, 5 Katrina, 6 Corpse-like Moth. Oh no. Oh no. Sibber is gonna get the full disadvantage because it's blind. 1 second
Oh,
attack.
that's a natural one.
Yeah, that's natural 1, so that's attack from everyone. Second attack will hit her. Third attack at disadvantage will also hit her.
What the fuck did I see? I thought she was wearing armor.
leather is shit. She's not a fighter.
She come wearing paper mache.
She's not a great fighter. So, as this thing raises up, the two... Let me just see what damage it does to Shiba. 1, 2... yeah, okay.
She's fucked.
She's, yeah. Yeah. You see, as this thing begins to twist around in, in fact, let me double check something. Yeah, so it just can't move. Okay, and everything has disadvantage because it's blind. Cool, yeah, that's fine. So, as it begins to thrash around, first trying to shake off Eggle who's attached to it, the tendrils begin to sweep out, stabbing in all different directions. Sibba tries to take this opportunity to slam her axe into its exposed chest, but just doesn't see the two claws coming, and they just immediately, one goes in through the left into her ribs, the other one into the right, just where her shoulder and neck meet, and just it skewers her. Immediate death. What do the rest of you do?
Full death.
Full death. Yeah, that's like triple her HP.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, we'll lash out.
Yeah, that's 3 times her HP. That's full death.
I missed my free attack. Shocker, guys.
You got advantage.
You got advantage because it's blind.
I will roll that again. It's a miracle.
22 hits. For 9.
Max damage.
We each get our free attack, right?
Yeah, free attack for the crit fail on its roll.
So that was my free attack.
Okay.
Not my turn.
Not your turn, correct.
I need to ask DM discretion on that because I have a spell touch attack.
Okay.
Can I use that to attack him with?
Yep.
Okay.
Dawkin!
Spear stabbing in, axe swings around, puncturing into it. Eggle with your grip. Roll damage. That doubles because it's vulnerable to acid damage.
Oh yeah.
Seeing someone die, I'm happy to let Grom and Thea have a ranged attack as well on that one.
Thea's too busy running away. Coward.
Yeah,
I
Thea's
can
running
pop
away.
my head out.
Yeah. Oh, she left her to die. No, go on, Thea.
Okay. Well, she's got another chair leg.
Because that one would have been you if you were stood there.
I know, because I barely had any. She's probably over there like crying at this point. So since it's blinded, we get advantage, right?
You do indeed.
Okay, advantage on the attack roll.
17.
Okay,
it,
and
22?
since I'm still brute, gonna do. I'll go ahead and do my 1d6.
For another 5. Oh, that's a 5 initially. Good rolls.
That chair leg.
Plus the 2 for throw-in, and then the shatter.
Yep, and then the 2 for throw-in.
There we go. Boom. At this point, it's looking pretty beat up. Grom, what are you gonna do? Seeing that Sibba's just been tore into.
So he's gonna be like, he's gonna be right pissed with this. So he's gonna shoot his Eldritch Blast at the glass embedded in its forehead.
Oh, yes! Yes!
For a crit.
You just willed it into existence, didn't you?
Okay. Roll damage.
Blammo.
With that being a crit, on top of you slamming the shard, I'm going to double that. I say things for a reason, and I'm glad someone picked up on it. So that bumps it to 44 damage. As you fire out this Eldritch Blast, pinpoint accuracy, you hit this shard of glass that's embedded in its head, which causes the glass to shoot even deeper into the body of this malformed dwarf, this lurker. And immediately, you would all hear a loud crack from inside the body of this thing as this shard of glass shatters. Oh, poor moths. I need everyone to make me a Constitution saving throw, please, but the moths get to do it at disadvantage because tremor sense.
Which kind of saving throw was it?
Constitution.
Ooh, I'm really good at those.
Moth failed. Eggle failed. Okay. From within, this sound of broken glass is followed by flame. From within the belly of this creature, immediately a wave of fire just rushes out. Along with the sonic boom with it, causing one of the moths just to fall on its back, roll around on the ground. Everyone would take, if you succeeded, which everyone did bar from Eggle and the moth, you would just take half of this. So 9 points of fire damage. The rest of you take half. Grom, it wouldn't so much be fire damage for you, it would be thunder damage as this boom rings out.
Okay.
Same with Thea, it'd be thunder damage. But that does an additional... where's my thing? Can never find what I'm looking for. There we go. Heat damage. In fact, it would be extreme heat damage for the creature itself. So that takes 24 points of fire damage. There we go. All right. Cool. So, for some reason, all of a sudden, as this shard has been punctured into this malformed dwarf, there is just an eruption of fire and an incredibly loud sonic boom that echoes, causing the chamber to rock. Dust begins to fall from the ceiling. A few stones are dislodged, and the poor dwarf, blind, arm or hand, leg melting off due to acids, just is in a complete state of confusion as pain racks through its body. That was pretty fucking savage. Katrina, your turn. Katrina?
Muted.
Muted or left us?
Essentially, be right back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
In that case,
She's
then
getting mauled by a kitten, is she?
we'll skip Katrina for a moment and go to you, Grom, and then we'll go back to Katrina.
Right, Well, as that worked so well last time, we'll do another Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
And I've still got advantage till the end of
Your
this
turn.
turn.
Mm-hmm. You can't see the shard anymore because it's now inside the damn thing, but a 25 will still hit it.
It's going right down its throat. That's where it's going now. So like 8 of those damages.
8 of those damages.
Plus the corpse thingy that's in its guts.
Yep.
Let me just do this. Damage. Normal. For another 5 damage.
Take it.
With my movement, I should go to there.
Even further away.
To go there, and I'm going to hunker down behind this statue as much as I can. So rude.
Absolutely.
That's me.
All right. So, Lurker. Oh man, it's in a bad spot unless Katrina's back, which she isn't. So Lurker will. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 targets close to it, so I'll roll a d4. 1 being the corpse, light moth. 1 being Eggle. Sorry, 2 being Eggle. 3 being Yorick. 4 being Katrina. 3 being Yorick.
Bring it on!
All right. Tendrils. Disadvantage. Shoot out towards you. First one. Hits. Second. And, of course, third.
One hit.
One hit.
Okay.
All right. One of them finds its mark as it thrashes around Yorick for 18 points of bludgeoning damage as it slams into you, which is halved because you rage him.
Rage!
Welcome back. From this moment, you just begin to hear the mouth move and this garbled voice.
Some cursed night will claim.
And at that moment, Katrina, over to you.
Okay.
Never trust a fart. Sorry, go on.
She's gonna spear it up the butt or up something.
Let's turn now. You side on.
You get advantage. You want to try for that crit? It's blind.
Oh yeah. Nope. Fuck.
Oh.
But then she's just gonna start punching it.
All right. So with the spear stuck in, you then leap forward, strike. First one smashes into it. Beautiful. Chunk of flesh is torn out. Second strike. Also solid. Another piece of its armor shatters under the force of the blow. Consistent.
Using its nutsack like a speed bag.
that image is in my head now. And that's all for Katrina's turn. Thank you for your patience.
So we've had Grom. That was then the Lurker's turn, so now it goes to Yorick.
I apologise for nothing.
Oh!
God bless you.
5 gore points. Instant crit on the attack.
I'm actually going to use my racial trait to re-roll that damage.
Okay.
One more. More damage is more damage.
It is. Yeah. Is this the first time you've used Eviscerate?
No, I used it when I threw my axe at them.
Yes, I remember. So for those who aren't aware, basically, Yorick, as he takes damage and does damage, gains gore points, and when he's got a certain amount, he can spend them on abilities. This one being Eviscerate, he can choose to score a crit.
It's free damage, yeah.
It's free damage, yeah. It's a solid hit. You just carve into the thing, and to be honest with you, at this point, there's not really much more it can do. Anything further, Yorick?
No.
All right. Corpse-like moth is. It's going to try. It'd be rude not to. It's going to stick it. It gets advantage because it's blind. First one misses. Oh no, first one hit. Cool. Okay. Second one misses. 4. A respectable 12 damage. You just see this other moth just again jump onto it. The legs stab into the squishy part of the flesh around this mutated dwarf as it stabs in and starts slurping up the infection within. Sibba is dead.
But you got to remind us.
The other corpse-like moth, which has been wounded, is going to take flight and just back off for the minute and watch what's going on, which brings us to Eggle.
Eggle, this thing is just spun around, and Eggle's just going to try to jump up and slap this thing in the face with his acidic paws. Die, you bastard! I'm just going to use a fresh. I was just going to use a fresh cast, but that apparently won't let me do that. Let me.
It's all good. Do you want me to refund
So
you?
get advantage?
Absolutely. Still, it's blind. It's restrained. You get advantage. Oh. With your acidic palm, you slap it across the face. Damage.
Yes, I'm trying to. There we go. Damage.
14. Ooh. It's good. Any bonus actions, Eggle?
I have no bonus actions to use, so he's just getting him with the acid and then
slapping it.
That's it.
All right. Thea.
All right, she's gonna do her temporary hit point roll.
Uh-huh.
Quick. 2. I'll take
2?
it. Every
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit helps.
And what are you doing now? You're gonna get stuck back in?
You know, listen. Here's what's gonna happen. She's gonna pull out, that big bone that she had that was like that sun-dried jerky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's got some heft to it, and it's got like, how like a bone at the end has like that big kind of clump
Uh-huh.
of like bone. So she's gonna come out here a little bit, and she's gonna throw this thing at that crystal on the top of the head.
That crystal's gone. That was already...
Oh, it's gone now?
Yeah. It was
Oh,
pushed
okay,
into
sorry,
its
I
body
didn't hear
by Grom.
Okay. Well, she's gonna throw this thing just at the head anyways, because she's just tired of it. and
Yeah.
she wants to
19 hits. Brings it to a 24. This bone sails through the air with
All right.
inhuman force.
So then, she gets I always forget to put the +2 in there because I'm throwing it.
It's alright. I add it to the damage, don't worry.
And then since I'm still brutish, come on. What didn't as sad as this makes her, because there was still some good meat on there that she could eat, she's gonna shatter that bone.
Okay. So 1, and then you just need damage from the actual improvised weapon.
Oh, didn't do that one.
You didn't?
Do that.
No. Come on, 1. 12, so that bumps it. That's max damage plus the 2 for throwing it takes it to 14.
And she's got a little bit of movement. I'm not gonna waste a second. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna go back here and hang out with the moth. I wouldn't say anything.
Man. Legendary action. Lurker. It's going to try and, once again, go in on someone. So, Moth 1, Eggle 2, Yorick 3, Katrina 4. Moth. Oh, this poor moth that's suckling on it is about to get... What we got? 18, 23, 2 hits. So on the moth. Da, 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 da. Oh, hang on, that's not damage.
Well, safe, that's
I'm
damage.
about to say, that's
Jeez.
crazy. Yeah. There we go. So 10 damage and 16. That's 26 damage to the moth. As one of the claws shoot up, you see it take a good chunk out of the large moth. But you would also notice that whilst for you this would be a critical injury, these big moths are fucking hardy, as it takes it like an absolute champ. Yes, there's a piece of flesh missing, but what would have killed, what killed Sibba only really lightly wounded this giant moth. Give you the impression there's a reason the moths are perhaps revered here. Katrina, you're up.
Well, you know what we do, folks. Stick it up the butt.
It's a good job you get advantage because it's still blind.
Fuck. Why do I keep forgetting?
Oh!
Should have kept me gumshoe.
Boom. Stabbed.
No.
Oh. Oh.
Still a 10 with a 1 on the damage die.
Oh.
That's alright. And if it's still moving...
It is still moving.
It's alive. I'm gonna punch it.
It's gonna pretty much gonna play the turn to its end. This thing is, for all intents and purposes, now dead. the dwarf is on its last legs, kicking and screaming. It wouldn't take much of a concerted effort, but there is just that last flicker of fight or flight in it. So yeah, we'll play it to the end to see whether or not I can inflict some more damage on you all. It's a good strike. It's enough. Four. So 14 max so far. Second strike. Also enough.
Oh, that was a good roll.
Good. That was good. 21 max.
That's all I got.
It's nothing to sniff at.
Yeah.
It's solid. It's consistent.
All mounts up.
It does. Grom, from your parapet overlooking the carnage below, what are you up to?
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast it.
Yeah?
Because
You can get it done.
Eldritch Blast.
It'd be rude not to.
Yeah, try and pick a point where its head meets its body.
Oh, fuck. Double crit? What?
Double crit! What the fuck is Leon today?
And max proficiency roll as well.
That should do triple damage.
Just why?
I don't think I want that to be a thing, because for when it turns around on us.
Oh, you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
that's fair. Yeah, yep.
But take it back.
But why, though?
I'm shutting my daughter of a whore's mouth.
But why? God damn. Well, that makes up for the last 7 episodes of Rolls, Lee.
Yeah. Does.
You slam the Eldritch Blast into the connector where its head joins to the rest of its torso. Immediately, its throat is just blasted out by the energies. And blood splats all across the ground, covering the moth. Yorick, Eggle, you're splattered with it as a little bit lands on Katrina. And it just, at that moment, all of its legs just give way as this mutated form of a dwarf drops to the ground. The tendrils lash out in all directions in a last vain bit of survivalist hope. But anything further from you, Grom?
No, he's just going to dust himself off. Job well done.
All right.
Corpse room.
Corpse Worm.
Oh, yeah, Corpse Worm. Hold.
Would you like me in future to get you a button that's just a Corpse Worm damage button?
Yeah, it's probably cool.
Cool.
So I just cast it again without
Yeah.
the spell slot. And do damage. Oh, suit you.
Oh, who did I apply that to? Probably the moth. Whoops, oh well. It's fine. Okay. Lurker. Death throws. Fuck it. Let's go all in, shall we? Thrashing around. As it's been hit, it's going to spin it a little bit to that way. So I'm going to put this on Eggle, Yorick, or Katrina because I am a piece of shit. Eggle 1, Yorick 2, Katrina 3. Eggle. In a last fit, as it turns its head away, as it's blasted to the side by Grom's Eldritch Blast, this force that was starting to coalesce in the mouth is disrupted for a moment, and in a quick belch, it is released in your direction. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please, Eggle. Hail Mary! Oh, 16. Pathetic. You are hit with this searing blast from the mouth of the creature. Heat washes over you, and on top of that, another feeling. That's similar to what you felt above when you stepped into the room. That of the withering, of hope fading, of contamination. You also take a point of contamination for being hit with that ray, Eggle. And with that not being
broken.
Yeah.
And all right, and Eggle drops.
What's it look like as you are hit with this scorching ray? It's not so much as a ray directed at you; it kind of just catches you as its head tilts, just cutting across.
So, essentially, Eggle gets hit by this blast because it's like a glancing strike, but he's not a big dude, and this has a lot of force to it, so he's gonna get sent back, just flat out on the ground, just sprawled out. And his little sword is laying next to him.
Clatters to the ground. Oh. Yorick, you're up.
Sword! It's still blind, is it?
Still blind, yeah. Yeah, I've not made any saving throws for it. I'm keeping it blind because it makes sense. It can't recover from having a wooden thing gouged into its eye. It doesn't have hands to pull it out.
8 damages.
8 damages. I'm gonna say with that being the end of the round, what happens to it?
I give it a new smile where its ugly, deformed face is. So I catch it right in the fucking mouth as it tries to speak in its broken language and broken mouth. So I cut its head in half at the mouth, and it goes like down its neck, and I just grab the trailing ends and I start pulling it apart. As I yank out at the top end of its skull and its spine.
Oh, man. And with this horrific show of bloodthirst and viscera, Eggle cast aside, scattered to the ground, Grom above looking down at it. Katrina, you, spear at the ready. The moths now start trying to dive into Feast, and Thea, you a ways away. Sibba, a silent, blooded mess on the ground. That's where we'll call it today.
Sure.
That's where we'll call it today.
We're going to do Eggle like that?
I am going to do Eggle like that. We'll find out what happens next week on Cradle of Ruin.
Bye, chat.
Goodbye, chat.
Goodbye.
Cheerio, chat.
Hi, Chad. See you next time on Cradle of Ruin for Eggle's funeral.
Right. Folks, thank you. I'm going to hit us over to the end screen. Thank you for joining us today for episode 7 of the Cradle of Ruin. Foxy6582, thank you for the follow. Skern's Tavern, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. I hope those who stayed enjoyed themselves. Vex, thank you for the bits, for the 30 and the flower that you gifted. Thank you. Lucius, thank you for the 67-month resub. And, well, I'm sure we'll find out what happens to poor Eggle next week. I'm taking it. That's why I'm ending the session there, Smith. I got a character unconscious. That's a win for me. I don't need to play D&D anymore. I've won. I've won D&D. Huzzah! All right, let's try and find someone to raid, shall we? How many years did it take? Too many. Far too many. I should probably start trying to find people to raid sooner. Yes. Took down the little goblin bastard. Let's just raid someone who could use some views, shall we? Someone's on their 91st episode, Chronicles in Valoth. Let's go see what these folks are up to and give them some support. So yeah, everyone, thank you once again for joining. We are back on Saturday for Imperium Maledictum, our Warhammer 40,000 playthrough, a small campaign called the Black Vault. If you're not interested in that, we're back on Sunday, 8 PM GMT for episode 8 of Chronicles, where we'll find out what happens to poor Eggle. That said then, ta-ta everyone. Ta-ta for now.